This is the Komsomolets, a Tier 3 Soviet aircraft carrier. I wasn't really sure there were any Soviet aircraft carriers in World War II, but we're going to check out the specifics of that in the overview. But for now, let's get into the setup of the ship and the commander, who is Yvgeny Preobrazhensky. I'm going to go with Yevgeny. Base trait is seasoned professional, reduces a damage control party, consumable reload time. And for the inspirations, I went with a double health inspiration setup here, very much similar to a double concealment setup for the destroyers. I found that the double health build was the most effective for me anyway for the aircraft carriers. And I have Henry J. Hyde Wrenchman Extraordinaire, which increases your ship hit points by 5.4%. And then I have William Sims Built to Last, gains an HP bonus per ship tier at the rate of 320 hit points per ship tier. So it's not very much on the tier 3, but it's going to be obviously a little bit more for tier 5 and tier 7. And then as far as the skills, I went with a torpedo enhancement for most of these skills because from what I've checked out previously, the torpedoes were a little underwhelming on the Soviet aircraft carriers. The first skill is Contact is Imminent, which will increase the travel speed of the torpedoes by 4 knots. Second skill is One-Way Ticket, increases the torpedo damage. And then I have Hidden Threat, improves the concealment and maximum HP of your torpedo bombers. And then here for the fourth skill, I've helped out the bombers a little bit, the HE bombers. Burn, baby, burn, increases the damage and fire setting chances of your plane's HE bombs. And then for the legendary skill, I have them ranked up to legendary rank 2. Torpedo Master is what I've selected, so we're really helping out the torpedoes yet again, and this will increase the speed of the torpedoes. It will also reduce the damage dealt to your aircraft carrier, but it is providing you're within the proximity of an ally, and the range to make that happen is 2 kilometers. Upgrading to legendary rank 3, you can see I'm at legendary rank 2, will increase that radius up to 2.75 kilometers. So let's check out the upgrades for the ship. First upgrade is Air Groups Mod 1. Aircraft return speed is improved by 20%. And then the second upgrade is Air Groups Mod 2. This will increase the HP of all of your aircraft by 3%. And then the last upgrade is the default upgrade here, the Komsomolets Hull B. Hit points of the ship is now 34,370. Rudder shift time is 7.8 seconds. All right, let's check out the loadouts. You can see here you have your normal HE bombers, which we will get into in a second. The only consumable is the engine cooling consumable, and this is standard on all the Tier 3 aircraft carrier airplane squadrons. Same thing for the torpedo bombers here. The consumables, these are all auto deployed consumables. A damage control party duration is 60 seconds, reload time is 87.6 seconds, and there is an unlimited number of the consumables. And the next consumable is the fighter. It follows a ship and automatically attacks enemy aircraft, activates automatically whenever your aircraft carrier is spotted by an enemy. The duration is 600 seconds. That is 10 minutes according to my calculator. Reload time is 40 seconds, and you have 4 of those consumables. So it seems like you have 40 minutes worth of fighter consumables here. That is very interesting. I don't have any boosters set up right now. And as far as the camouflage, I created a permanent camouflage out of the primordial annihilator camos that I have in stock, and I've only left it at a grade 1, but it is a permanent camouflage. Sea detectability range and incoming fire dispersion is only 0.5%. Let's take a look at the stats. Survivability hit points is 34,370 as we saw. Armor is 6 to 20 millimeters, so you definitely do not want to get hit in this ship. aircraft. So let's take a look at the torpedo bombers. The hit points for the squadron is 1403. Maximum speed is 122 knots. Attack unit size, and this is the unique thing about the Soviet aircraft carriers, is their attack unit size is the entire squadron. So with the Soviet aircraft, there is no pre-dropping where the attack size in other aircraft carriers is maybe 2 or 3. So if your squadron is 4, 6, or 8, you'd lose the entire squadron many times on one attack run. So here, by having the entire squadron as the attack unit size, that saves you the trouble, and you potentially get many more torpedoes or bombs on target with one salvo, as it were, one dive bomb attack. Detectability range is 9.3 kilometers. Aircraft restoration time is 72 seconds. Maximum torpedo damage is 4,025, and that is with all the upgrades that you saw that we had in the Commander. It would be quite a bit lower than that without that, and the torpedo speed is 48 knots. I think it's far slower than that without the upgrades that you saw, and the range is 6 kilometers. And again, the Commander did have an increase to the torpedo range. As far as the actual dive bombers go, hit points for the squadron is 1112. Maximum speed is 127. Same attack unit size of 4, and same number of aircraft per squadron as with the torpedo bombers. Detectability range is 10 kilometers. Aircraft restoration time is 71 seconds. Maximum bomb damage, though, is 10,939, and that is pretty good. That is, I think that might be some of the higher numbers for the Soviet aircraft carrier bombers. I think I'll have to double check with the Tier 5. Let me know what you think in the comments. But I think that this that number is pretty good at 10,939. The fire setting chance is 60%. Artillery, it looks like we have 10 guns, 3.5 kilometer range for the secondaries, 5-second reload time for the 100 millimeter, 1400 maximum damage with a 12% chance of setting fire. 130 millimeter secondaries are 3.5 kilometers again, 5-second reload time. They do a little bit more damage at 1900 and a little bit better fire setting chance at 14%. Here are your AA defenses. I don't expect much out of that. Maneuverability, 17 knots maximum speed. Holy cow. Offhand, I don't recall a slower ship in my port. Turning circle radius is 640 meters. Rudder shift time is 7.8 seconds. Concealment, detectability range by sea is 11.7 kilometers. Range by air is 9.4 kilometers. And the guaranteed detectability range is 2 kilometers. So apparently you will not have any benefit from being in smoke if that should ever happen. Let's take a look at the armor, and yeah, you really don't want to get hit here. There's not much to look at. Very thin armor. Overview. Camaraderie. All the planes in the attack group drops bombs when bombing a target, and this is awesome, and I sort of think this should be implemented across the board, perhaps with many other nations' aircraft carriers. Slow timing. Torpedoes take longer to arm, requiring a longer lead on targets, and this is absolutely 100% true. You will probably see in the highlight video that I have a heck of a time hitting a target with the torpedoes, it seems like, and I do have, I'm not the best aircraft carrier player, but I do have quite a bit of practice with it, and for some reason with the Soviet aircraft carrier torpedo bombers, I have one heck of a time. It's pretty bad. So the Komsomolets is a small and relatively slow aircraft carrier that was reconstructed from a training ship. Year of design is 1936, and there were no ships in the series, so it never did see action or probably completion. All right, well, that's it for the setup of the ship and the Commander. Let's go out in a standard battle and check out some highlights. All right, I have heard that when you try to go into a standard match with this ship, you are going to be waiting for quite a while, and then when you finally do get in, it's going to be a truncated match with way fewer than 9 ships per side. So here I've done some fancy editing and I'm cutting through the time. We're waiting in the queue for over 2 minutes here. Now 3 minutes, and we are going to go up to around 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And I'm in a division. I don't know if that really made a difference or not, but it's an epicenter match in Trident. And in this match, everybody basically rushes the epicenter, it seems like. So this match does not really, this game with the Komsomolets being a tier 3, does not really show off any of the highlights of the Soviet carriers, which is the skip bombing. This aircraft carrier has conventional HE bombs, but you do kind of get a feel for the slower torpedoes, so there is that. Spoiler alert, this is not really going to be a very exciting match whatsoever. We do end up getting a victory, but this is going to highlight, my first torpedo run here is going to highlight some of the problems that I've had with the torpedoes, and it seems like when I aim where I'm normally used to aiming aircraft carrier torpedoes, the torpedoes will end up going right at the very back end of the ship, so they miss by about 1 ship's width. And it seems like whenever I try to compensate for that and give a much greater lead time, then the red team ship has no problem turning away from the torpedoes and I miss again. So it's almost like, in some ways, I feel no matter what I do, I can't get a hit, because if I aim where I want to hit, the torpedoes are so slow that they miss. If I give enough lead time so that the torpedoes may get a hit, it seems like most times the red team ship turns away and I get a miss yet again. But this is going to be a great demonstration of that coming up here. And, you know, I do admit that this is a cruiser that I'm trying to hit, and those are much more difficult than battleships. So here I start my attack run around 4 kilometers away from the target, and you can see the attack unit size is 4. And so that is the cool thing about the Soviet carriers, is the entire squadron is the attack unit size, and that really helps out so that you don't have to do any pre-dropping. And what pre-dropping is if your squadron is 4, 6, or 8 aircraft and your attack unit size is 2 or 3, every time you make an attack run, the 2 or 3 will break off for the attack run while the rest of the aircraft stay airborne. It seems like 9 times out of 10, the remaining aircraft get wiped out by whatever AA is in the area. So a lot of people have started pre-dropping, where they do like fake attack runs and drop the ordnance and have the aircraft go back to the aircraft carrier, and then they maintain their aircraft and they don't get wiped out. So here with the Soviets aircraft carriers, you don't really have to do that. Well, you can't do it at all. So here we're going to come up here on the St. Louis with the HE bombs now, and these are the conventional HE bombs, and you're going to see that there's no problem getting hits with the HE bombs, the conventional HE bombs of the tier 3. All right, well, the skip bombing is going to be a little bit different, but that's for the tier 5 and tier 7 aircraft carrier. And by the way, the other difference in a tier 7 Soviet aircraft carrier is the assisted takeoff, where you have a little bit of a rocket boost right when the aircraft take off and you are up above 250 knots for a short period of time. So you really do get a little bit of an assist, and helps you get your aircraft on target a little bit quicker, I think. But we did take off with the HE bombs again. We're going to go back out here. I think that's still the St. Louis. You can see we are winning a little bit. 2 red team ships have been destroyed, and 1 of the blue team ships have been destroyed, but we are ahead by almost 100 points. And in some ways, this is going to be an easy match. Sorry, but this isn't all that exciting, but I'm afraid this is all you can expect if you go into a tier 3 standard match with this ship. can let me know in the comments below if you've had a little bit better success as far as the number of ships in your Tier 3 match with the Komsomolets, but this is probably the third or fourth try to get into a standard match with this ship, and this was sort of the best result I got. The damage isn't, you know, world record or anything. Well, it might be because if people have a problem getting into the match, but the damage isn't going to be that great. But you know, you do kind of get to check out the ordnance and the way the aircraft fly and how the bombs and torpedoes work here. So the bombs are normal as far as what you would normally expect from HE bombs. As I said, though, the torpedoes do seem a little bit slower. And now we just have one cruiser left, and I believe the cruiser is on the other side of the island where my blue team cruiser teammate is firing, and you see those other shells going in the same general area. So I do believe that the Phoenix right here can spot that cruiser. I cannot spot him, at least at this point, but there he is. So it doesn't look like he's going all that fast, and he's going a little slow here. So we're going to start our run around 3.6 kilometers away, and here this is awesome because you do get 4 torpedoes in the water in a Tier 3. That is unbelievable. That is awesome. I really like that. And here you can see how the torpedoes are spreading out, and it looks like I may get 2 hits in the front there, and there we do get the 2 hits and the destruction, so that is awesome. We do end up winning the match. Like I said, it wasn't really all that spectacular, but maybe you'll get some idea of what the Komsomolets and a fraction of what the Soviet aircraft carriers are about. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.